Welcome to the DogWater and Sales Guy Show. I just so happen to be the sales guy.
And I just so happen to be DogWater.
And we are live. The crew just is packing up. We are taking off from New Orleans. We was just down there for the NCAA basketball tournament. And when I say DogWater, what a game. What did you think about those Jayhawks coming back, 15-point deficit, to come back and beat Hubert Davis in his first season as head coach for North Carolina?
I fell asleep at halftime.
Basketball on the college level is just so boring. And I wanted to ask you about this because I was talking to my boss about this. It seems like college basketball to the NBA, maybe besides I don't know too much about soccer just for there's so many different leagues. But doesn't it seem like there's just such a higher jump in skill level between NBA and college basketball? Because when you watch like the Final Four, you really only seen like two guys who you was like, we can insert them into an NBA starting lineup and they can average like 10 plus a game now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch like NCAA football, you'll see like 5 to 10 players who you'd be like, we can insert them into an NFL team. And that, you know what I mean? Is it just like the skill level is so much different in basketball?
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it takes more skill and less physicality.
In football?
No, in basketball. Like basketball is a skill-based game, whereas in football, like if you built like a brick shit house, you can still play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you hear that, football players? Sales guy over here is calling all you just shit houses.
I said if you built like a brick shit house. You know what I'm saying, though? Because like when you watch college basketball, you rarely see multiple players that stand out to you like, oh, yeah, they're going to be starting and contributing next year.
Yeah, a rare one was like Illinois' Io, whatever his last name is. He plays for the Bulls now. You know what I'm talking about?
He played for him like last year?
Yeah, like I would watch like Illinois basketball just to watch him. That was like one of the only reasons I would watch, just because like I could see like he's gonna play in the NBA. He could play both ways, and he was good at it. Where like he was just a rarity. But like I don't know what it is. I think this has just like been a
Ayo Dosunmu. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I didn't know he played for the Bulls.
Yeah, he got drafted, I think, first round. But I had a conversation with friends, like we were talking last year. It was probably mid college season, and they were like, I think they were hyping up Kofi Cockburn, and I was like, I mean, he's all right.
Who did he play for?
Illinois.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't know too much about him. Go ahead.
But Kofi, like, he's good and all, but like he just started playing basketball not too long ago. He's like a Joel Embiid type project, but like Joel Embiid got there because he was on an NBA team as a project. He wasn't, and he was at Kansas, and he was also a lot more athletically gifted than Kofi is. Kofi's just a huge, like you said, shit house, like brick shit house. But like he can't defend like with the best of them inside. But like I would watch it and like, dude, he was so good. Like he's probably a big reason why Trent Frazier's so good. Their point guard at Illinois. He ended up, I think he was a senior this year. He might have a COVID year or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he led their team this year, and they were pretty good. But I don't pay attention to college basketball, so it's boring.
Right.
And the skill level, like, especially the first round of 64, like, some of those teams look like high school teams compared to some of them. Like, it looks like a high school to pro team almost, but, like, it's just sad.
Yeah, that's like my boss. He was like, I love college basketball, man. They don't play defense in the NBA. I'm like, yeah, they don't really play defense, but in key games, like a key NBA game that really matters, and in playoffs and the games leading up to, bro, that's the best basketball you can watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bar none. It's better than the Olympic basketball and all that. You know what I mean? Like, when you used to watch the Cavs play the Warriors, like, bro, that was literally incredible basketball. You used to watch. And when, like, when the Heat would play the Spurs.
Even the Pacers.
Yeah, even when the Heat would play the Pacers. Yeah, it would just be such a good game. Mm-hmm. Just such high-level basketball. Remember when we went to that Pacers versus Cavs game in the playoffs? And my stupid ass, bro, the whole time we driving, me and Chili's probably smoked like 8 blunts on the way. And we come in to meet you in Indiana. And the whole time in my head, I'm not taking into account the time change. So I'm like, oh, we making decent time. Like, shit, we gonna get there in like shit the end of the first quarter. And then we get there, and then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I looked at my phone, and it automatically changed because I guess the location services. And I'm like, what the hell? And then we go pick you up, and I'm like, how far is this from the stadium? And he was like, probably a good like 45 minutes. And I'm like, what? we get to the game with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Come to see LeBron. Nigga, as soon as we walk in and get to our seat, I don't know if you remember this because I do. Lance Stevenson shot a 3 and LeBron fouled him and he fell flat to the ground and it went in and he just laid on the ground and looked at LeBron. Like he just laid there for literally like 15 seconds. And then they took LeBron out. He sat out the whole fourth quarter. And then they lost by 34 points.
The Pacers?
No, the Cavs.
I mean, okay.
I'm like, bro, that was the first time I ever seen LeBron play. I watched him play for literally one play, and then he sat out the whole game. Sat out the whole fourth quarter.
I think I had been to the game 1. I think that was game 3 or something like that. It was something like that. Because I had just been there. I wasn't that upset because I had just seen him.
Yeah. And then I went with LT and Dante. We watched him in Memphis, and like that was actually decent because we paid for much better seats.
Shout out Memphis. Their seating's a lot cheaper usually. Maybe not now with Ja, but it was back in the day.
Bro, we sat probably 10 rows off the center, and it was like $500.
I guess that was a LeBron game.
Well, yeah, it was Lakers.
I sat there for $100 with a Pistons game. It's 5 rows off the court side.
I'm surprised they didn't give you the tickets when they came to town. Bro, you got to watch the rant when Chuck Barkley goes off on what's the team? The Suns. It's back when the Suns sucked before they got good, and he just watching the game, and he was like, "Look at this trash." Inside the NBA, and he was like, "Damn, Marley, I'm sorry. Maybe you'll get another chance with a real team one day." And he was like, "No, they tried to blame Dan Marley. They threw him under the bus and ran over him." And he was like, I went to one of the Suns game and ordered some nachos. You know, the good nachos come with jalapenos. The Suns give you a pickle with your nachos. And they just sit there egging them on. And Shaq like, how was the hot dogs, Chuck? He's like, they got that old hard bun. And then they was like, what about the parking? He's like, oh, there's plenty of parking. He's like, you could park right next to the stadium.
Yeah.
He said, you could buy one of them tickets at the top and come right down to the middle. Bro, I love Charles Barkley. He was cracking me up last night on the NCAA game. Because I like Charles Barkley. He just tell you what's up.
Yeah, he'll just tell you what he's thinking.
Like, no sugarcoat at all. He was like, Kansas' game plan is awful. He was like, Bill Self is an amazing coach, one of the greatest college coaches ever. And he just came out with an absolutely horrible game plan. Mm-hmm. He's like, it was terrible. And he's like, and that big man they got down there, he only scored all them points against Villanova because they biggest player is like 6'2". Now he playing against people his size and he can't score. I'm like, God damn, Chuck. I'm like, let the nigga live. But
I didn't watch any of that game really. It was on, but I didn't watch any of it.
DogWater was he was just thinking about our next move. We're actually on the plane right now. Like, we literally just flying around waiting for whoever calls us to come next. You never know where it might be. But I'm trying to think of what I was finna say. I literally just lost track of what I was finna say.
I don't know. Where do you think we're gonna be next week?
See, I don't know. Like, the thing about doing a show like this, it comes with perks. Like, what can I say? Pilot on standby. This motherfucker is literally flying right now just through the skies, waiting for us to tell him where to stop.
We might just give the pilot 10 destinations, tell him to pick one.
Oh, man.
You know what those destinations are going to be?
Let's hear them.
Heaven and hell. He's going to pick somewhere in between.
Have you ever watched The Sopranos?
No.
So in The Sopranos, this was fucking me up because I'm like, imagine if this really happened to you. In The Sopranos, one of the characters, Christopher, he gets shot like coming out of a building, and he like dies like flatline. Mm-hmm. And then like he was talking to Tony the boss, and he's like, I went to hell, Tony. And he was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "I went there and I met the devil and I seen my father." And then he was like, "Calm down, Chris. Okay, you're on a lot of drugs. You were seeing things." He was like, "Tony, it was real." He was like, "Every night," he was like, "they kill you." He's like, "You live your whole day, and at the end of every night, they kill you. And then you wake up, and then you just start the next day over in hell." And then like, and then Tony, you could tell he was like, "Jesus Christ." And Carmela, he goes to talk to his wife, and then he was like, "Yeah," he said that he went to heaven. He said that he went to heaven and he seen his father, and he wants to turn his life around now. Carmela go to talk to him, and she was like, "Tony told me that you went to heaven and seen your father, and Christopher, this might be exactly what you need to turn your life around." He's like, "I didn't go to heaven." He's like, "I went to hell and see my dad down there."
Hell,
That's a show. I don't want to go into it, but I'm a big fan of a great series on TV, right? You and your girlfriend, y'all have to watch The Sopranos. When I tell you, you'll start watching this show, and within 3 episodes, you'll be like, "Holy shit, this is incredible."
I think I watched part of the first episode, but I don't think I finished it. That's the problem. Unless I'm like dedicated to like sitting down for 45 minutes and watching the show, I won't get invested.
So what series do you like? Like, are there any series that you've watched front to back that you like, okay, that was some hard shit?
Yeah, Last Kingdom.
That show is whack. That show is trash.com. I've seen
Sons of Anarchy.
You watched that?
Yeah.
I think you told me that before.
Yeah, Jax Teller.
That one is good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I seen a clip. I know how he died, so now it's not even like, you know.
It was pretty good though, even though you know he dies. I mean, you kind of could put together how he dies the whole time.
And so they just like they running drugs and like guns and shit.
Yeah, they're basically like a biker gang.
So like, what's the show about? What's the conflict that Jax has? I'm sure there's some type of he's conflicted about something.
I forget exactly where it starts, but the whole film is about him reading his dad died, and nobody really knows how. He just basically, I think he got ran over by a semi. His dad did, and
they went out the same way.
Yeah, that's why the ending's kind of like fitting. Right. Spoiler alert. We should have said that before we started.
I mean, it's like a fucking 12-year-old show.
That is true. But the whole show, he's like reading his dad's like manuscript, I guess, like about his life or like I think it's a manuscript because it was like what was going on in his life, and he's like reading like what he was like writing. He was like summing up his life, talking about his life and whatnot. He kind of put together like what happened to his dad, and like his dad, like, do you want to know?
Yeah, why not?
All right, spoiler alert. But basically, his dad wrote down that he thought his mom,
Jax's mom,
I'm pretty sure they were married at the time, was sleeping with his secondhand dude, which was now Jax's stepdad, who's now the boss.
Because I remember, it's just a random scene. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and she was blowing him. He answered like a phone call. She talked to Jax and then got off the phone and then started blowing him. I just remember that piece. I do remember that.
But anyways,
sorry to cut you off.
He writes that, and like Jax is like having issues with him too, and like he ends up putting together like that his dad wrote down like Clay was messing with his bike at one point in time, and like they put together that Clay fucked with his bike that day that he got ran over by that semi. He like fucked with bolts on his bike and shit.
Oh.
To where like he basically killed him.
And then I'm guessing Jax finds out.
Jax basically finds, Jax goes off, and the IRA is involved. The like Irish drug or not drug, but
Irish. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The
they used to do the car bombs and shit.
Yeah, they're heavily involved.
Is there like a black gang?
Yeah, they're from like this. Is it Lodi? Yeah, Lodi. It's like around. It's in California. There's actually a place called Lodi. But this place, I think the place that takes place, I can't remember the exact. It might be there. But anyways, they have there's a black gang, and there's some hood dudes. Like there's a black biker gang and some hood dudes.
Oh, it's a black biker gang.
Yeah, like
those niggas I want to stay away from.
There's also the Mayans. They're a biker gang that are in there. There's also
Hispanic.
Yeah. There's also this random cruise. But the Mayans got a spinoff show too. It's called The Mayans, and it's about them. It's kind of just a spin-off show of Sons of Anarchy. It's a pretty cool show, dude.
What other shows you like? Sons of Anarchy. I've heard a lot of people talk about Longmire. I think I've heard of that. Is that like a cowboy show?
It feels like an old western, but it's like in current day, and it's just like an older sheriff that has like old traditional viewpoints, and he is kind of set in modern day. And he also happens to be a sheriff where there's a Indian reservation or a Native American reservation.
There you go, get it right.
Yeah, and he basically like has to deal with all the stuff that has to go along with that. But he like he just drives an old Ranger, and like people will be like, "You got to do this stuff," and he's like, "No, I don't."
Is this Longmire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's not a politically correct guy.
No, definitely.
He probably wouldn't navigate the transgender conversation too well.
He wrecked, and the guy on his right there was his deputy at the time, and he finds him wrecked, and it's like his car is like rolled over, and there's like a ton of beer cans that are just empty in his car. He's the sheriff of the town, and he's like, "Walt, you can't have these there." He's like, "I'll shut the fuck up," basically.
Have you ever watched any Sons of Anarchy is popular. I'm guessing Longmire is popular, but have you ever watched any critically acclaimed shows? Breaking Bad?
I watched Breaking Bad.
Have you seen the whole show?
I think all the way up to like the last few seasons, if not all of it.
Okay.
I might have watched all of it.
That was a hard ass motherfucking show, dog. That dude is a hell of an actor. Another good show you need to watch?
Oh, what really put me off on that show is how he just took it from his wife.
Took what from his wife?
Everything. It reminds me of Will Smith.
What do you mean he took from his wife?
His wife was just a fucking bitch, Walter's wife.
Oh, yeah, she was.
And he just took it, even though he stood up to everything else in his life. He couldn't stand up to it.
Yep.
Fucking bullshit.
Breaking him down piece by piece.
Bullshit.
Remember when bro, that is one of the greatest scenes in TV. When when he finds out, he goes underneath the house to look for his money, and he gets to counting it, and there's $600,000 missing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Skylar, where is my money?" And then he started turning into Walter, and he started turning into Heisenberg, and then she was like, "I gave it to Todd." And he was like, and he started crying, and then he started banging his head on the ground, and then he just started laughing hysterically, and she was like, "Oh my God." You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Bro, he was laughing and the screen started shaking and shit. I'm dead serious. I've never been big into film and ever thought about it, or you know what I'm saying? But as I've gotten older, I can really appreciate some good acting and a good shot scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was literally I catch myself watching TV, and I guess it's because I'm high and it accentuates everything. But I catch myself this is incredible.
I think it'd be really hard to I don't think it'd be hard to act if you could see the production up until where you're at. But I think it would be hard to act like a normal. I think acting
on set.
It'd be very hard to act.
You think so?
I think so.
I would love it. I feel like it'd be so fun.
I think if they were all right, we have your stuff shot up until the scene you need to freak out in. I think if I got myself into the character, I guess if you shot all those films.
But I'm saying if that's your job, it's gonna be much easier to get yourself in the character.
Yeah, I mean, because it is your character.
Yeah,
that's why actors are so good at it.
Would you do the shit actors do? I went and lived in an AIDS ward for 2 weeks to try to know what it's like to be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I would do a little bit. It'd be extra research basically for your job.
Yeah, I know, but would you go deep? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I
think my imagination can also help me out, which is I can't imagine the feelings, but I can imagine what it would be like. I can get details.
Right.
Because my mind, I can actually think some people will stop at gruesome stuff. I can sit there and think about it and just be yeah, that would be fucking terrible.
I'm a great actor. I'm a salesperson. I spend a lot of time telling people what they want to hear and faking emotion. Give me an emotion and I'll act it out.
Anger. Is that what you're feeling?
Right now?
Yeah, were you feeling angry?
No, I'm not angry, but you see the way I portrayed it without even feeling it.
Elated.
My God. Man. Me 2 more.
Dreary.
Last one.
Oh, what's another one? I don't want to use any of the normal ones.
I'm ready for any of them. Come on now, hit me with it.
Is a mood?
Anything you want me to act. Anything at all. It could be a mood.
Professional.
Hi. Welcome to So-and-so Car Lot. My name is Dre. I'll be the one helping you out today. How can I help you guys get started? Is there anything specific that you're looking for? You kind of just doing a little bit of price range shopping, trying to stay in a certain mileage gap, or you have something specific that's on your plate that you're trying to find today?
I just walked in here, dude.
You just walked in here? For what?
It's cold outside.
So get the fuck out there. Sometimes in the sales world, you will talk to people. Like if you like, I don't know. I just have a weird type of brain where like I get in like something will happen and then I'll just start thinking about it and searching about it. Like I talked to 2 customers in a row, and then like if you looked at my Google search, it was like, what is the United States average IQ? Like I'm like, how many Americans possess below level intelligence? Because I honestly think, man, people are getting dumber by the day.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my coworker talk about this. There's more access to information now than ever in the history of the world. And people are dumber than ever, too.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. And I don't want to go off on a tangent and everything, but like working on a dealership, it's just the craziest thing to have somebody call you, like somebody who's like 22 years old, 22-year-old girl, someone you know that has her phone in her hand 24/7. Why are you calling me to ask me questions about stuff that's on the internet? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was looking at this car. Oh, yeah? What car?
Yeah.
Oh, this Ford Fusion. Oh, yeah? What year is it? What's the stock number? Oh, I'm sorry. Here is this. And I'm like, okay, what about it? How can I help you? How many miles is on it? And I'm like, well, if you scroll down 2 inches, it'll tell you exactly how many miles on it. Okay, and what does the Carfax look like? I'm like, there's a big marker that says Carfax right underneath you. You just click on it and it'll show you everything. Like, you know what I mean? It's very disheartening. You know what I mean? It just be sad, dog. Like it honestly, sometimes like you'll talk to somebody who's like 50 years old
Mm-hmm.
and who's had like 4 kids and has grandkids. And like they have like a fucking 420 score. They have nothing positive on their credit. And they have literally no idea how getting a loan works.
They need a car, though.
Huh?
They need a car, though.
No, you need a bike. Like honestly, dog, I had somebody today. She was trying to get a $20,000 car, right?
Mm-hmm.
She had $2,500 to put down. Guess how much the bank told her she had to have in order to get a loan? They said you got to put $15,000 down
On the car.
on a $20,000 car. I've seen people with credit so bad that they tried to buy like a $15,000 car, and like finance, they can just plug the numbers in to see which amount that the bank will accept it for once they get an approval. Because the bank will give you an approval. Because people are like, guaranteed finance. I thought it was guaranteed finance. Like, oh, we have you an approval, but you just had to pay 95% down. You're approved. You just got to pay it. You know what I mean? You just got to pay that. But like I've seen somebody want a $15,000 car, and like my boss type in 14,500 down, and then it'll still be red.
Oh my God.
So like your credit is so bad, I don't even trust you with $500. Like on it, like you know what I mean? You're putting 98% down. We don't trust you with that other 2%. We don't even like. We already gonna get our money back, but we just don't even want to.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
It's very very crazy. So kids, make sure to keep up with your monthly bills, and then when you want to buy something, it'll be much easier. All 22 of you watching right now, but numbers are going up through the roof. We got a big following in India. I've been talking to some of the fans out there. And before we go to break, when does the World Cup actually start?
This summer sometime.
Like, you don't know if it's like July or...
I do not. Sadly.
Do you think the U.S. will make it out of the... That shit don't start in the summer?
What kind of fucking question is that,
That
Dre?
shit starts in November. He said sometime for the summer. That shit literally starts fucking in the winter.
They're supposed to be in the summer.
It's probably the summer in Qatar.
It was supposed to be... I want to say... No, never mind. Yeah, I don't know why it started. Probably because it is too hot in the summer.
Yeah, it's probably fucking 200 degrees out there.
Fucking in Qatar.
Somebody will probably fuck around and die. out
There ain't no way we lose to Iran,
I don't know, man.
Iran, or Wales, or Scotland,
I could see us losing to Wales.
or the Ukraine. The Ukraine,
Are you kidding me? Their best players got to be fighting right now, don't you know? You not been watching the fucking news?
they probably sending out fucking ball boys.
So is Ukraine, I'm guessing they're not a soccer nation?
They have Zevchenko.
I don't
He
know.
plays for Man City.
They
He's
probably
like
play hockey.
left back.
They probably play more hockey.
I don't know. Right now they're playing with
Fucking guns.
There's no way we're letting the fucking England team beat us.
Are you kidding me?
They're gonna probably smoke
Harry
the shit out
Kane?
of us. And so who's the best player for US? Pulisic?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I don't know. We got a lot of them.
So who?
You got Pulisic. You got Weston McKennie, who plays with Juventus. Played with Ronaldo for a year. You got Sergino Dest.
he plays in Barcelona.
Played with Messi for
So
a year.
this is the thing about living in a nation of immigrants. Say the top 3 players' names again.
Christian Pulisic.
That's not an American name.
Serginho Dest
There we go.
And Weston
McKinney.
I mean, I guess that would be it.
You got Gio Reyna. Yeah, Gio Reyna.
That's the one that played for Dortmund, right?
Yeah, he plays for Dortmund.
Yeah, that's not an
Um,
American name.
Who else? There's definitely others, but I don't think
Not a
there's-
lot of Hank Smiths on the
Josh Sargent. That's an American.
That is
name.
an American name. That's the one from what's it called, ain't it?
Where? St.
Like
Louis.
St.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he gets around St. Louis area.
But yeah, there's a lot of fucking good dudes on the team.
We're fucking on the up. Just like this show. On the up.
Only one way to go. And we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be right back
So
with
we're
a
going to
little
go
bit
right
more.
back. We're going to go the other direction. He just said there's only one direction, though.
We'll be back. And we're back on another episode of the DogWater and Sales Guys show. We are currently in our private aircraft, just flying through the skies, looking for our next destination. We like to keep it light on our show. So what we'll do is move on into our next segment called Step Into My Office. Step into my office. Step into the office. I actually do have an office on the aircraft where I'm going to show Dogwater a couple videos and just get his opinion.
Dogwater is in the office today, boys.
And this is just a young man giving his opinion on the gay marriage and such. Let's see what you think about what he has to say.
Say what?
This is to all the gay people. Marriage is between a man and a woman, not the same sex. I don't acknowledge your marriage, and you can take it how you want to take it. You are going to hell.
The reason I put this one is just like because his eye. Honestly, like look at this nigga's eye. What is this nigga? That nigga's eye.
I bet he wrote that out, too. Like, it was a speech.
Like he was holding it up, reading that shit. Okay, that's one. Here's another one. Let's see what you think about this one.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? I'm JD Vance, and I approve this message.
Hell yeah.
Pretty soon that's gonna be like liberal campaigning. It'll just be like cut down like that. Are you a racist? Do you hate blacks?
You seen the guy down in I think it's Tennessee. He's running for governor and he's smoking weed while he's doing it.
No, I have not.
I'm pretty sure it's a video.
Have you seen? Do you remember when Gary Johnson he tried to run for president and he was on a stage and they was talking about smoking marijuana and the lady was like, smoking marijuana makes you 10 to 15 times more likely for a heart attack. And then like he was just sitting there on stage and he was like literally fall down onto the ground. And like Gary Johnson was trending because he was like a libertarian, like keep the government out of my bedroom pocket, all that type of shit. So like a lot of people fuck with him. But then he was on a news show and they asked him how he would handle the situation in Aleppo. Mm-hmm. And he was like, Aleppo, what is that? And they was like, Syria, we have the conflict going on right there with him. And he was like, and people was like, okay, never mind. But while we was out in New Orleans, I was doing a little bit of partying, walking the streets, and you would be amazed at what I ran into. Did you see who that is? Dennis Rodman.
Hell no.
You couldn't tell that?
I forgot we saw him, dude.
Oh my god.
Too much of those goddamn drinks we had.
That shit was too funny. Here's another clip from the beach.
Say
Oh, shit!
I think I've seen that one.
Oh shit! She cracked the shit out of her. Have you ever seen the one where the kid does the backflip over the other kid?
I don't know.
Just a strange game to be playing at a beach.
Everything's strange at the beach when you're going one-on-one like that. Especially like Oklahoma drills at the beach. What are you doing that for?
Yeah.
Like, are there coaches there?
The scouts.
What?
Let's see this one. Oh.
Play that again. Watch how fucked up the car is. Again.
He was trying to do that Kobe.
I'm a consequentialist. Why the fuck would you ever put yourself in this situation?
He was trying to be like Kobe.
He's not Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant jumped to the side of that car. They drove way too fast.
Yeah. He's fucked up. Shout out to my African brothers. And here's another one.
First of all, I am 18. And second of all, if I want to play with my toys, I play with my toys wherever I want. So shut up, you're not my dad, and kiss my ass.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Shout out to him.
We've got the funk.
I gotta play that again. I remember the Nelk Boys had Dennis Rodman on their podcast, and they was like, he showed up at 10:30 in the morning just completely drunk.
Hell no, bro. I couldn't imagine.
Just 10:30 a.m. like sauced already.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine doing that on fucking vacation.
No.
Like waking up, and I couldn't even imagine fucking being buzzed that early.
No, not at 10:30. Not.
I'd say the earliest acceptable time to have the first drink is like 11.
I don't know. Mimosas are pretty good.
Well, yeah, that's not real drinking. Like, well, I mean, it'll get you fucked up if you drink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm talking about when you wake up and start hitting the hard liquor.
Yeah, that's fucked
like,
up.
Not the orange juice mix. Like,
you just wake up and like you brush your teeth and you gurgle it out with some vodka. You just fucking swallow the next glass.
Have you ever watched Intervention?
I don't think so.
I watched a lady on Intervention who was an alcoholic,
and
she only drank beer. And when I'm talking about my G, this woman would wake up and she had an ice cold cooler right next to her bed.
Hell no.
She would literally wake up, go to the bathroom, brush her teeth, And then as soon as she come out, she would just grab a tall boy, crack that bitch open, and drink it, finish it by the time she got dressed. And then she'd have one more before she got picked up for work.
That's crazy.
So literally, bro, by like 6:30 a.m., she already done had like 6 beers.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
Fucking crazy.
Could you imagine? I mean, this might sound bad, but like, could you imagine being like, and people probably say I am like addicted to marijuana, but like, could you imagine being like a for real like addict? Like fucking addicted to drinking? Like, I have to drink. Like, I have to get some liquor tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I was addicted to nicotine for a while, and it didn't feel like that, but
Like when you was addicted to, what was you on the wacky tobacco?
fuck yeah.
Did you ever get like physical withdrawals when you started to quit?
Not that I know it, but I probably did.
Your consciousness is just too woke to even feel that shit.
I definitely probably felt it, but I have no idea. I don't feel pain, okay?
Could you imagine like a nigga quitting weed and having like real withdrawals? Like a nigga quit smoking backwoods and was just like, oh.
We call that a fiend.
It's fucked up though, seeing somebody who like getting off drugs. The worst shit is that heroin. I had a neighbor who was on heroin, and I watched that bitch lose like 30 pounds in like 2 months. Gee, when I tell you the bitch, I'm pretty sure she was turning tricks. And like her baby daddy would pull up at the crib. Like anytime she had a dude over there, somehow the baby daddy would pull up and try to fight whoever it was. And one time, I guess she had like a 60-some-year-old man over there. I mean, I guess he was trying to drop that 40 and bust it open. And the baby daddy pulled up and he parked behind the dude's truck. So the dude couldn't leave. And then, bruh, like he started beating on the door.
Oh man.
You know what I instantly do? I walk outside to see what's going on. Hey, don't worry about this, bro. This is between us. Hey, don't worry about me, G. I'm standing on my porch. Don't worry about me. Do your thing over there. Oh, okay, my bad, man. And then, like, they get to fighting and shit out there. Like, bro, I'm standing out there dying laughing. It's like a 60-year-old dude. And, like, I'm kind of thinking, like, man, should I go fucking help this guy? But then at the same time, it's like, no, he's over here fucking this dude's baby mama, so that's his problem to deal with. And, like, the fucking dope fiend bitch is, like, trying to break him up. And she telling me to help. She's like, please help me break this up. I'm like, bitch, no. What the fuck are you talking about? And like, she's like, he's just an old man. Please, he's just an old man. And then the dude's like, fuck you and him, you fucking whore. And then he got in his car. And I'll never forget, he threw a pint of Crown Royal, like threw it at the back of the dude's window. You know what I mean? Like threw it at the back window of his truck. And that shit went right through.
Damn.
Like, bruh, it was just like, boom, it went straight into the hole. And then one time, this is gonna sound really crazy, but I was going out to work in the morning and I seen a heroin needle on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's obvious whose it was. So tell me if I'm wrong for this. I just put 2 pairs of gloves on, like one hand, and I picked it up by the thing, and then I just shoved the needle in her tire outside her house. And then when I got back home from work, I left at like 5:30, and when I got back home at like 6, it was flat. And I'm like, this is what you get, you fucking junkie bitch. It might sound bad to say, but I fucking couldn't stand that bitch. And then the next neighbor moved in when I lived over there. And then this bitch had 2 kids always fucking crying and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
That's what my girlfriend wants to get a dog. I don't know. The fucking barking. That motherfucker, if it starts barking, we might have to
Hit him with the Mike Vick.
Yeah, I'm not talking that.
But you could get him one of them 1 collars though.
I might bring out the Adrian Beatus son.
And I remember Adrian Peterson's son said he had a whole room for whooping his ass.
Why?
He said there was a special room that he used to whoop the kids in.
I mean, if I had that much money, I probably would too.
Yeah, that's true.
We got an extra room over here. It's called the ass whooping room.
Wasn't it Tyreek Hill who like broke his son's arm or some shit?
I don't remember. Tyreek Hill, like
Didn't he like pick his son up by his arm and broke his arm or some shit like that?
he definitely had some shit. I think it was back in college or close to college. But he told his baby mama or his wife, I don't know what she is, but he told her that they should be afraid of him.
He told them they should be afraid of him.
Yeah, you can look that up. Just domestic violence. Right.
You need to be terrified of me, bitch.
That was back in, I think it was like 2014 though. I think it was that long ago.
Oh, they should have said 2019. Unless the calls was from back then.
Yeah, you can click on it.
Prior to the start of the 2019 draft. But yeah, that was only 2 years ago.
3.
Well, yeah, 3 years ago.
That's fucked. I don't know if it's just me or if everybody's in it, but like I keep like having come to the realization like it is 2022.
Yeah.
Like
You ever catch yourself thinking like the 90s was 10 years ago?
yes.
Yep.
Like I'll be sitting there like thinking, I don't know if I'm like stuck in like 2016, but like it just feels like it's like around the 20
Right
teens.
around that time.
It's like the 20 teens to me. And like it hasn't registered as 2022.
Doesn't it blow your mind that 2010 was 12 years ago?
Yeah, that's fucked.
Like, dog, I sell cars, right? And I mean, you're in education, but it's crazy seeing a motherfucker come to buy a vehicle and they was born in 2003.
Yeah.
And you like, what? You know what I mean? I was born in 95, but still like being born in 2003, that sounds like a fucking like a 14-year-old to me. And that's like you said, living in like a 2017 type thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just be the weirdest thing. Like, my nephews, I was like, what is your birthday, full birthday? And he was like, blah, 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 2014. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah, 2014 is what, like 8 now?
yeah.
That's
Like,
nuts.
It's crazy as fuck.
I
Like,
think it's I think it's COVID. It's robbed us of like 2 years of 2020s.
It really did.
Like 2020s, we got robbed of to where it does feel like it's like the end of it's 2019 still.
I'm blessed because a lot of people got fucked up in COVID. Bro, I didn't miss one day of work in COVID.
Yeah.
Like, when COVID started and they started shutting shit down, I was working at the egg farm. Nigga, they gave us a paper. And they was like, if you get pulled, because this is when it first happened, they thought they was going to shut the streets down and shit. I think they should have did that.
Yeah.
I think they should have went full authoritarian style.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have had motherfucking guards and shit on the streets. They let you go to the, what's it called? They block roads off and let you only go to the grocery store and home. And if you got an essential job, you got to provide the shit showing you do. Because, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. If they would have did that, they would have fucking isolated the virus and found that shit so much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
You
They just
know?
didn't have a cure though. I think that's the whole reason why they didn't stop it.
Right, that's true.
That China had like they don't have the FDA type shit that we do. Like they don't have to get shit approved. They just make it. And,
Right, just send it
They're
out.
like, here we go.
Right.
We don't have no side effects. We already got enough pollution here. It's not like anything matters.
In the U.S., they got to go through fucking 40 trials and all types of shit before they can even fucking do it.
So like it wasn't even probably worth locking shit down. Not unless we have some kind of cure.
But
We found out that jab didn't even fucking work though. I ain't get that motherfucker.
sure you didn't.
I ain't no jab joust. Jab joker.
I got mine. My shit was swollen like a motherfucker. Did your arm swell up?
I didn't get no jab.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you're a staunch, red-blooded American, baby.
But I am. My blood, it's inside of me, it's blue. It comes out red. And I am white. Therefore, I am American.
Work I always do that shit, bro. That shit be cracking my white boss up.
Like talking like that.
He be like, what do we want for lunch, guys? You guys thinking? Panda Express. I said, Stan, I am a red-blooded American. Do you think I want to eat some fucking Japanese noodles for lunch today?
I've been cracking up too.
And the other dude I work with, he'd be like, fucking libtards! And then he'd be like, you fucking communist libtard! Like, brother, shit. He said, why don't you pack up your bags and move out to California? And it's funny because, like, this white lady I work with, she ain't like that. She is Republican, but, like, she ain't.
Like
that. But, like, you could tell it'd be pissing her off. Because she had, like, family that... She had family that, like, protested outside of Planned Parenthood. And we would be like, the dude I work with would be like, you ain't killing no babies on my watch. He's like... He said, as soon as that sperm hits the egg, that is a baby. Like, just fucking keep doing that. So, guys, I work by a Planned Parenthood, and I go by there every day on my way to work. And I'll just say this much: why do you not care about babies getting killed in the winter? Because when the winter came with nobody out there, as soon as it warmed back up, there was 45 motherfuckers outside. And dog, have you ever drove by there? Like, people be on their knees, like, praying. Like, people be in the grass, like, on their knees, like praying, like one time I seen a lady going into the Planned Parenthood, and they have, like, little workers that, like, stop them at the door to give them pamphlets and shit. And this dude walked up, and he's like, why don't you kill another one? I was just like, Jesus Christ. I was just like, Jesus. Fuck.
Listen up, all you God-fearing motherfuckers that want to stand outside Planned Parenthood. You're going to pray there? You really think God's anywhere close when there's babies getting killed right inside those doors? You might as well just fucking run away. That place is scarier than shit.
Yeah, it is kind of scary.
That's like the goddamn hood to you.
Oh my God! We're gonna get shot! White people made one wrong turn in Belleville and be like, oh my God! Honey, that guy had his hood up in his pants below his ass!
My favorite would be living back where we're from. People would exchange their one story of driving through St. Louis.
Yeah, I drove through, and I mean, nobody bothered me or said anything to me. I mean, these black guys were very intimidating when they looked at me. I thought we were gonna get shot. I'm like, maybe it would have been better for everybody if somebody did shoot you, you fucking tard. Let me bleep that word out. But like, and you know too, because you date a biracial woman, so you know, like, dog, white people will say some of the dumbest shit to you and just have no idea like what they're saying. You know what I mean? And I understand it's like a lot of times there's no maliciousness behind it, but sometimes they're just literally so oblivious. Like when somebody come up to you and be like, oh my God, I love your hair, can I feel it? I'm like, bitch, what do I look like, a fucking dog to you? Like, bitch, you know what I mean? My dad would freak out if he found out I was dating a black guy.
Yeah, like,
well, bitch, we ain't dating, we just fucking, all right? So don't even worry about that.
You just send her down like a Facebook message, you're just like, hey.
Right. I've heard white people say some outrageous stuff.
I couldn't imagine.
And I bet on the contrary, they think us niggas probably say some crazy shit too, which we do. But sometimes, like, I don't know. I guess it's because it's such an obscure area where, like, a lot of these people we know is from. But, like, sometimes you hear some of the shit they say and you just be like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
like, imagine being in a bar and somebody trying to talk to you about George Floyd. I'd be like, bro, get the fuck away from me. I'm dead serious, bro. Get away from me right now. I'm just saying, man, what that cop did to him. I'm like, bro, I understand you want to like be woke and cool, but do that shit with somebody else. and do it at a different time. Okay? I'm sorry, but like the last thing I want to talk to a white person about is something racial.
A huge thing to me that I didn't even realize was just like the color blindness thing. Like, we're supposed to be colorblind.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my
Bro.
life. I hate when people say that.
Well, people don't realize like there's so many layers to it. Like,
I'm colorblind. I don't see color.
You say that.
I see color and process it and move forward normally.
you say that just as a blanket statement to say like,
I'm not racist.
basically,
Yeah.
like that's the layers to it, and like you have no like. If you say I don't see color, if you say I'm colorblind, like in that sense, like then you have no reason to go and try to relate to the other people, or like you have no reason to even try to like see where they're coming from.
It's basically like, I'm colorblind, so everybody's white in my world. I'm going to
Yeah.
treat everybody like they were white.
Well, and not even that, like even like you could go to Hispanic people, you go to black people, like you just think everybody's your way. Like obviously the minorities know not everybody's my way because everybody's the white way. But if you're white, you just think everybody's your way, and then you're like, oh shit, they're not. And like you just have no idea. But like that was the thing that they were telling us in college. Like just it's you have to acknowledge like color. Like you have to see it. Like you it's not like you're not seeing it. And like you just have to not let it affect stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like you said, it's just like a bullshit blanket statement to just basically say like, I'm not a racist.
Mm-hmm.
I see everybody the same. I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Keep
like
it a buck. You
you
can treat everybody the same, but you can't see everybody the same.
and that's also the same statement they said after segregation, right? Like that's legit. What it went to was just like we don't see color. That was a blanket statement after,
Pretty well,
after
yeah.
segregation. To where it hasn't changed since then.
For
Like,
real.
that's fucked up.
But like, obviously, like when certain white people try to get to talking and asking questions about race and shit, like, I'm sorry, honestly, I just want to be educated. I'd be like, bitch, read a book. Don't
Watch
ask,
something.
Don't ask me. What the fuck are you talking about? I just want to educate myself. Well, bitch, go down to the library and do that.
The thing is, they don't care to be educated enough in their own life. They care to be educated enough in that moment to talk to you.
Right.
Like that's what the difference is. Like people don't understand. Like that's what I mean. I've prided myself on being like this colorblind, but I took it as like you acknowledge like color and you just don't like you don't judge people for it. Like I didn't actually like think of it like most people do. It's just like it doesn't matter what color you are. We're all the same. Like
Right.
which is totally fucking false. It's like I mean I don't know.
Like, we all the same, but we all so different at
Yeah.
the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I've had so many people try to have them conversations with me, and I'd be like, look, I understand, but at the end of the day, like, sorry if this sounds rude, but I'm talking about specific for these specific people that have tried to have the conversations. Like, you're white. Your whole point of view is as a white person. And you thinking of how things might be for other people, you are thinking of that as a white person, like how that would be different than how, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I just be like, look, let's just talk to each other like normal people and leave it at that.
Yeah.
We don't got to try to educate your ass on race and all that shit. Like you said, bitch, get on Netflix and watch one of them documentaries or something.
Yeah, it is crazy to me though that like people I picked up through life, like they're just totally fucking like different people. Like one of my best friends is like straight Mexican.
Yeah.
Like he's legit from Mexico. I have two friends from China, like straight out of China. I know a couple Indian guys that I went to college with. I was kind of close with. Like it's just nuts.
Right.
Like the connections you can make. But I don't know. White people aren't looking for that type of shit. Like they like the small town people are definitely just going America. We're in America, and I have
Right.
no idea what the real America looks like because they've never been to one of the big cities besides the one they live next to. Like,
Yeah.
it's just fucked.
Like, we was talking about that at work, and the lady was like, I wonder why, like, cities vote blue, whereas the rural areas vote red. I'm like, oh, you ever think because people in the cities are exposed to different types of people, so they take into account how things are for everybody else?
I don't want to say this, but you know where the colleges are?
Yeah.
in the
Exactly.
cities. That's where higher education sits, in the cities.
Yeah.
We're like,
That's
there's a
where
reason.
diversity is.
Yeah.
And like sometimes when you talk to some people, like some white people, like about shit like that, you realize like, but like you're never even in contact with black people for real. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
You might know like 2 or 3 black people who they are, but like you don't know any personally. And then like your day to day life, like living in like a small town and shit, like you maybe run into a black person like once a month,
Mhm.
like see one. You know what I mean? Like,
Have like more than a 5-minute conversation that you see them at like a store.
but that's like once a year, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
To where like, yeah, like you were saying earlier, it just didn't matter to them in their life. Like they just wanted it in that moment. That
Right.
education.
exactly. But we got a little serious there for a second, but we are running out of time. It's been another lovely episode of the DogWater and Sales Guy Show. Hey, pilot, we're landing in Dubai. We're partying for the night. I am the sales guy.
I'm DogWater.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.